In this video, we'll talk about lane changes. That's coming right up. Hey, it's Sean from Zula Driving School, and let's get right into talking about lane changes. All right, lane changes. So let me draw you a 3-lane road here, and you, let's say, are driving in the middle here, and you decide to change your lane over to the left. So what are the steps for a lane change? Steps. So step number 1 would be to communicate your intention with other drivers. So signaling. Now, I think a lot of people just take this for granted, and it's probably one of the most important steps. When you signal and you let other people know what your plan is, chances are things will be a lot easier for you. Oftentimes with a new driver, I'll ask them to do a lane change, and they're looking in their mirrors and they're like, it's not safe yet, it's not safe yet. And they get like very concerned about the lane change, and I tell them, what's the first step? And they go, signal. And I go, yeah, put it on the signal, and you'll see how things kind of fall into place from there. And if it doesn't, let's say you put your signal on and the other drivers are not paying attention or they're not cooperating, what have you, this is not a commitment. This is just an intention. So you're communicating your intention. All right, this is your intention. And if you put your signal on and it's not safe to go, you don't go, right? So you can just cancel your signal. But it's very important that you signal. The next step is you want to check to see what's happening behind you. So you want to see, what is the car behind me doing? Is there a car behind me? So you want to check your rear view mirror. And the reason this is important is because if they are signaling their intention to change lanes, perhaps we don't want to be changing lanes at the exact same time that they're changing their lane. Third is to check your side mirror. And your side mirror will tell you about what's happening in this lane beside you. And it will tell you, is there a car approaching? Are they going really fast? What's going on? So you want to check your side mirror. Now, sometimes my student will check the wrong side mirror. I'm like, well, if you're going to be changing a lane, changing over to the left lane, check your left side mirror, right? This will tell you about dangers that are approaching that are possibly 2 or 3 seconds away. And finally, just as important as the other steps, is shoulder check. So you need to actually turn around and look over to your left side here. So you got to look out this window here in the back here. And this will tell you if there's a car that's right beside you that is out of your peripheral vision, and it's also out of what you can see in this mirror here. So there can always be a car on your side that you're not aware of unless you shoulder check. Okay, so shoulder check. And this will tell you about immediate dangers or dangers that are half a second away. All right, now that we know the steps, let's talk about the most important thing when you're doing a lane change. So this is a bit misleading because all these steps are important and none of them can be skipped, but this one doesn't quite fall into this category, so let's say it's pretty important. And it relates to your speed. So let's say you're going down this road and you're going 50 kilometers an hour. So you're going 50, and let's say that this car is not here at the moment, but there's a car here and they're going 50, and this car up ahead is going 50. The most important thing here is for you to maintain your speed. And what I mean by that is it's very natural or normal for you to, when you're doing your shoulder check or you're about to make your lane change, to move your foot from the accelerator over to the brake. It's fine, you're covering your brake just in case as you turn your head back there might be something in front of you. But you don't want to go ahead and press that brake, because when you do, your speed drops, and you thought that you had a safe gap here, and if you drop, now you're going 40, this car is still going 50, and this gap shrinks. And now what was considered a safe space for you to enter is shrinking and maybe no longer safe. So maintain your speed as you're performing a lane change. Now, we talked about this side mirror. So we were checking this car to see, are they closing in on us and how far away are they? So let me draw what you would see in this mirror over here. When you look at this car in this mirror, they should look like this. You should have plenty of space on each side of the mirror with this car in the middle of it. This should be kind of tiny in the middle. This is a good distance. That means this car is far back enough. Now, of course, if they're speeding and you see them getting larger and larger in this mirror, then perhaps it's not a good time to do a lane change. Now, what is not a good distance is if you can only see a part of their car. So you see a headlight, you see a little bit like this, and you decide, I'm going to change lanes. If you change lanes, this person is probably not going to be happy with you. It's probably too close. They might be here. So too close, this is a pretty good distance. One other point I want to make about this is that all your driving maneuvers should be predictable. So if you're doing a lane change, there's not quick sudden movements. It should be a gradual movement. So you see these dotted lines on the ground, you should use about 3 or 4 of them to make your way over. You don't want to use 20 of them, but you don't want to be like, whoosh, you know, changing lanes so quick that everyone sways in the car. There's no need for it. And also, there's one thing that new drivers sometimes do is when they signal, check their mirror, check that mirror, and they go to do a shoulder check, they're holding onto the steering wheel and they move their torso and they do this motion. And all of a sudden the car goes into that lane. The whole point of us shoulder checking was to see, is there any immediate danger? And if there is, not to do that lane change. So you want to be mindful that I'm holding the steering wheel, I'm going to turn my neck and look. You got to get into that habit of not moving your body this way or that way. You want to keep your hand steady on the wheel and then, okay, it's safe. Now I'm going to move my car over. So I hope this video has been useful to you. If you liked it, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We also offer an online video training course where we go over lane changes and lots of other driving maneuvers and techniques. And we show you real footage of each of these things. So be sure to check that out on our website at www.zula.ca. Now, it's one thing to watch me write all this stuff on a whiteboard. It's another to get out there with your driving instructor or your co-ed driver and put this to practice for yourself. Thank you, and I hope to see you in another video soon.